Hey, good morning, folks. AJ here. We are on the road. We back from vacation, and hey, it started already. I actually had somebody book a consultation with me just now, and I didn't even realize it. They were able to book that in there, but we took care of that. But we're on the road, heading down here, down 64, and we're heading to the River Church. They actually called me when I was on vacation. They bought a couple of some equipment. I think a PTZ, an ATEM, or something like that, and they pretty much wanted said they didn't have anybody in the area that they knew of to hook everything up. So they got me on a good day when I was on vacation. So we're heading down here to help set up everything for them. Maybe do a little miniature training with them, but let's see what we can do to help them out. And as you can see, it is raining here. Kind of caught me off guard. But hey, we ordered some equipment for them, which was mainly like some Ethernet, some cables, and all this other stuff, that audio cables to hook everything up to their sound. Hopefully we got everything. I got one of each just in case, because I had no idea what sound system they had. They did tell me that where they want the camera and everything is about 30 feet away from where everything is. So hopefully we got everything that we need. If not, we're gonna have to run to a music store or a Best Buy or something that's nearby. We're kind of close to Williamsburg. It says I'm about 16 miles away. So let me put this down so I can concentrate on driving, and I'll take you on a tour once we get down here to the church and see what we can do to help them out. All right, folks, so we're down here, and let's go over what they got. Originally, they started off with a Mevo. They're using an iPad. They have, it looks like the new AV the one that we're going to be installing tomorrow at down in Gloucester. But they have that. They have AV joystick and the ATEM Mini Pro. We're going to hook this up, configure everything, because they said they haven't had a chance to do this. I think this is the AI tracking one, but we want to get all the stuff configured, get everything working, get their audio, do a separate mix for that as well too, and get everything going for them. So let's go ahead and get as much stuff done, and I'll talk you through what we got while we're doing it. So the main thing is, first we need to establish and find out, they have an X32. We need to see what their routing is. It looks like they already have an audio cable here. Let's see how this is connected. Alright, so right now they are running 1 and 2 out on the auxes. So if we go to, and I should have brought my laptop, if we go to our aux out, see, they're running a matrix 1.
Yeah, so I checked in with Kim.
So we might need to change that.
I said, are you
But
home yet?
let me get some other stuff straight, and then we'll go from there. Alrighty, so while I'm working here, it's a bunch of things that are needed. Right now, they don't have a PoE switch or a switch at all for here, so they're going to go ahead and order a switch, and we're going to connect everything. They're going to get an ATEM Mini Extreme instead of the ATEM Mini Pro, because they also want to run a feed from here that's in the sanctuary to the other TVs. So as of right now, because we don't have a PoE switch, I am going to, I got the batteries put in the remote, and we're going to set this to a static IP address, and then we put the joystick on a static IP address, and it should be able to see each other, and that way we can get it working. Since the board and everything is not connected, we're not able to do that. I got the X32 Edit app pulled down here. We got the AVCAN's camera app here, so when everything is networked, we'll be able to do that. I'm also downloading 9.7 ATEM software, so this can be controlled for live streaming. The switch is also going to be connected to this, so that the ATEM is now going to be handling their streaming as well. So like I said, I need to see if I can get in here inside of the camera and hopefully I can get in here and make some adjustments to the IP address, or at least find out what it is. So let me set you down here for a second. All right, folks, so we've been doing a lot of stuff here. We got the TV set up. We had to jump through a bunch of hoops, but we got it straight. We got the joystick and the camera set up. We're gonna be coming back on Monday because we're gonna be doing some bunch of stuff. We got a separate mix on the X32, sounding crystal clear for them. We got it streaming to Subsplash and showing up on the app, showing everywhere, sounding good. We got the AI tracking camera set up. But what we're gonna do, and y'all know I do this so that I remember as well too, we are going to get 3 fiber optic HDMI cables to change the cables that are going to the TVs here. There's a booster in the ceiling, so you know we got some CSAA ministry probably coming up. We're gonna replace that. So all those cables are gonna now come down that PVC pipe and replace the existing cables. We have the extra Ori 1x8 HDMI splitter 4K one. We're gonna put that here. All the TVs are gonna be connected to that. I'm probably gonna do 2 splitters now that I think about it, because these TVs show lyrics and the other TVs do not. So we're probably going to use ProPresenter to split that into multiple feeds so that the TVs in here do a full screen display, and then going into the ATEM Mini Extreme that they're upgrading to, we'll do a lower third mix that's going to go to that. We've already made a backup on the X32 for the sound, and they want me to come back to train them, their team on that stuff, but we're going to be back Monday, see how much stuff we can get knocked out. Replacing the cables, they're going to run the extra line that we did on the floor to get internet back there. Once the PoE switch is here, we're going to connect, wire up everything, the X32, the Mac, the ATEM, the camera, the joystick, all that stuff. Get everything going well for them, train them, so they got everything. And because they said they've been having issues with the TV. So again, I know I'm rambling, but this is mainly for me so I can remember what I need to order when we come back and get them all squared away. But really excited. Cool folks that I've met down here. Had some good conversation. And I think they're also going to be sending some folks to our conference so we can teach some more stuff. And we've been just talking about other concepts and things like that to do with their live streaming things. But let me get home. I'm going to draw out this diagram just so they'll have a note to see how all the stuff is hooked up and for their reference. And then when we come back on Monday, we'll finalize everything and we go from there. Alrighty, folks, we are back a lot later in the day, but pretty much I'm going to go ahead and do a design for them because, again, we've made some changes, and just based off of how everything's going to go, I want to actually put this in place because I don't think they have anything there kind of documenting what they have. So, you know, if they do have it, then, hey, we're just doing this as an exercise. But if not, hopefully this will benefit them, and this could be a good teaching tool for them. All right, so we're here in draw.io again, and we'll just do the river. So let's go ahead and design what they have right now. I'm going to just use a computer. They have a Mac, I think kind of like the M2. It looked like that was under the shelf. So I'm just using the computer right here, but that is the Mac. That is running actually ProPresenter. And the way they have it, they have the splitter that was giving me a little bit of issues. They have dual splitters. One that's under the desk at the media booth, and another one is an amplifier. So I guess it's not really that. I think it is another one. So I'm just going to do this like this. So this is a 1x4 splitter, and I'm assuming that this is probably another 1x4 because it's going. They have ProPresenter being routed directly to the 3 TVs in the front, not the TVs in the back or anything like that. Actually, let me take that back. It's going to be the 3 TVs in the front and the one that's to the right of the media booth. If I'm in the media booth, that one. The one to the left, I don't believe, because they only had a 1x4 splitter. So, and that's 4 TVs. Unless there's another splitter in the ceiling that's running that other one, that could be possible. But
we're just going to go it like this. And I'll show you what we are going to be replacing as well, because we're going to be back and we're going to be doing a lot more stuff. Pretty much they wanted to move forward. So right after this, I need to write up an invoice, and the pastor was just saying, AJ, no, just go ahead, get what we need, and send the invoice, and we'll be back Monday to help them get stuff sorted out. So let's just put all these TVs up here, make it easy. Most of the time when I try and do this, I try and make it like it's in its location, but that's not going to be a big deal. All right. So with that being said, let's move all of this over. So I'm just going to assume how this was set up, because we're going to be in the ceiling to see how this is going. But I think what they have is they have some traditional HDMI cables, those thick ones that require a booster. Because remember, regular HDMI cables cannot go more than 20 feet. So without some type of booster, and they put that inside the cable. And that's kind of the reason why I go with the fiber optic ones, because you can go quite a while and they don't need a booster. And I actually did this wrong already, because again, I'm just going to assume how this was done. The way I think it's done that makes sense, since it's only a 1x4 splitter, I think, and they have another monitor that's right beside them that was kind of giving them kind of a other output of what's going from ProPresenter so they can actually see. So that would be the other monitor, just a regular separate old monitor that was here. So that was 1, 2, 3, and 4, I believe, is actually going to another splitter that is feeding the TVs in the sanctuary. That's my assumption, because I only saw 4 cables, 2 cables unplugged with the TVs to the side. The third one was the monitor, and the fourth is the one I think went up to the front. So that's how I think this is set up. So let's get this out the way. Excuse me. I had some pistachios on the way here, and one of them got caught stuck in here when I was driving back from church. And the second output from the ProPresenter computer is feeding that. That's how all of the TVs only get that. All right. So what we're going to do is they have an ATEM Mini Extreme, because they had another monitor with their ATEM Mini Pro, and they wanted this to feed into additional TVs that are in the other side of the church. So they're not going to be able to do that with that current setup, because the ATEM Mini Pro is they're going to have the multi-view or the program out. So after talking with them, they're going to do that. And in this setup, this is how we're going to change this. Let's go ahead and do our camera as well too. ETZ camera here, and my resolution is off when is turned up. Normally this is 4K, but I do 1080p, and it makes everything humongous on the screen here. So we got to zoom out just a little bit. So we got the camera here. So we're going to connect this to the ATEM Mini Extreme. Very short cable is right there beside it. So a 6-foot cable is how that's connected. We're going to disconnect this and hook ProPresenter into the ATEM. So now we can leverage lower thirds and all this other stuff that ProPresenter could always do. But, we want to leverage everything of how, using ProPresenter, why not use the full features of what you can do with it? And what we're going to do now is this monitor is going to now be our multi-view. So let me do my regular icon for my multi-view here. So this will be out to here. This will be the new multi-view. Now the secondary HDMI output is now going to feed that splitter, and we're going to redo a bunch of this here. So let me actually clean this up a little bit. So this is going to go into a splitter, and we're going to change the splitter to a 1x8 splitter now. That will get rid of the amplifier or the splitter that's in the ceiling. And actually, let me take that back. Let me get rid of these cables and let's think through this again, because I think I'm going a little bit too fast. So these are the two back TVs. And what I really think is they are going to do sorry, my phone was dying, so I just plugged it in. I think what they really want to do is leverage ProPresenter a little bit more to have confidence monitors and multiple displays. I need to know which Mac they have, because I know I have the M1 and it only supports one additional monitor. If it supports multiple, might look at getting a Decklink card, because I think they finally fixed that, the Ultra Studio, so we can have an extra output with ProPresenter. But for right now, we're going to say the back TVs are going to be the exact same thing that's coming from the ATEM. So they're going to have two more TVs. Those are in the other parts of the church. So that would be connected here. That would be connected here. And because of the multi-view, we won't need to have another monitor that just shows that. I mean, it's possible, but I don't think they would need that now, since that multi-view is going to show them everything. And in this scenario, what I think is going to happen to get them what they want, because right now they don't show the camera on the pulpit at all. I'm on the TVs on the pulpit. So to get around that, what I'm going to do is put another HDMI splitter here. We will run the ProPresenter into that splitter, which will run into the ATEM. So the ATEM has a choice of the camera or, ProPresenter, but we will run splits directly to the TVs from that splitter. So I hope you see how that's going to work. So by doing this, let's slide this over here, make this easier. So by doing this, let's change the color here so it makes sense. If we send in the orange feed, which is ProPresenter only, the front TVs are only ever going to have that as an option. I'm going to try and talk to them and show them how it's advantageous to not do that, but I'm going to set it up because that's what they're used to. So doing it this way, the TVs in the front will get nothing but ProPresenter. But ProPresenter going into the ATEM is going to allow it to pick ProPresenter. The people online can see ProPresenter or the camera. And all of the other TVs, like in the overflow or any other areas, they will see what's going to the live stream. So that's how that setup is going to be. We can always do some more. Now, personally, what I would like to do, and I hate that it's doing this like this. Personally, like I said, what I would like to do is if we can get another feed coming from this Mac, I want to run another dedicated output from ProPresenter into the ATEM. And then what we will do is have this be a custom screen, and this will automatically be lower thirds. It will format whatever that's in full screen to lower thirds on the ATEM so that the DSK downstream key can be laid so you can still show the camera to everybody online, but they can see the graphics, the scripture, the songs, whatever at the bottom. So it won't be, I just see full screen lyrics, but no choir. But at the same time, by doing this with the ATEM and Extreme, we can use SuperSource, and we can still do that through a SuperSource if this is not available. And then the other thing that we did is the X32. We connected and made a brand new mix for live stream on 10 and 11 or 9, no, on 9 and 10. And we ran that into mic input number 1, set the ATEM mic number 1 to line in. So this is mix bus 9/10, and that's dedicated to the live stream. And now the all of this can be ran separately. The other thing, because we're doing a complete diagram, let's do our joystick. Let's scoot this over here. And we're going to put in a PoE switch. And what we're going to do is everything that's in the media booth is either not connected to a network or it was connected to Wi-Fi. So we're going to change that. So they're running a line that I left. That's going to get internet from the router. That's going to come all the way here. They're going to run that in the ceiling. That'll be there when I get back. And then we're going to connect the joystick to the PoE switch. So killing the power to the PoE is going to kill the power to the joystick. Do the same thing for the, I asked for a cable, not a resize. We do that to the PTZ camera. We will connect this to the ATEM so that it can have a hardline connection for streaming. Get this out of the way so you can see it. We are also going to connect the Mac to an Ethernet connection and not just Wi-Fi. So now the ProPresenter can run the X32 app so that whoever's listening to this will have headphones inside the ATEM. They can listen for the live stream mix, and with the app on the live stream bus mix, they can adjust what is going out to the live stream. And one other thing, they didn't ask for it. I did this anyway. I went ahead and ordered them a SSD as well too. So that way we can have that hooked up over USB and they can have everything recorded. And the other USB is already connected to the computer, to the Mac as well too. Now with this setup and with ProPresenter, we could just do camera capture and we could send the ATEM to the TV. So that is also an option too. So let's label that USB, and Cat 6, all that fun stuff. So I think that's pretty much it. Really straightforward. Really glad to be able to help them. They said, I was talking to Pastor Ron, the lead pastor, and he was saying that he was doing some research and he found me on YouTube, and that's how they got everything that I suggested. But they were having some issues hooking it all together, and they're like, well, let's see if we can get AJ. We'll fly him here. And then they didn't realize that I was up the street from them. I'm up the street from 64 off of them. So it was like a 30-minute drive for me to get down there to help them out. So excited to be able to help them. They said they're going to probably come send some people to the conference, and we're going to go down there and do a specialized training just for their team as well too. So just really excited. They see the vision. I think the pastor's vision of what he was trying to do, he's actually seeing it there with all the stuff in place, and that's an AI tracking camera. So we got it set up, and he was walking around. He was like, oh, he was in heaven. So really excited, great people to meet with, and we'll be back on Monday to get everything in place. We're going to probably do some CSAA ministry to replace the cables that are going to the TVs and just, update them, modernize their stuff, but then more importantly, show how this can actually just be a new tool to help facilitate the ministry that's coming out of the river to the River Church to just reach well beyond that area and just impact the community, the state, the country, world at large. So just excited about that. So I'm going to put a link down below, and if you ever need any help, you can always hit me up at ajhomes.com/consultations. We can do phone, Zoom, on-site. Folks, we travel. We just came back from Louisiana, Chicago. We're probably going to be going back to Chicago at the end of this month. And we got some other stuff going on. So, and we're going to be back in Gloucester next week as well too. to do some other work, which is right around the corner from where we were just at. So a lot of stuff is going on. I might need to, thankfully, I do have another vacation coming up pretty soon. So we're just going to roll hard and go until help as many people as we can. And then we take a break and relax and then rinse and repeat. But anyway, I'll put a link down below to everything that we did. But honestly, I really don't need to because we do the same stuff. All the stuff that we did is nothing new. We did the X32 setup. I have a video on that. The lower thirds, we have a setup on that. The ATEM Mini Extreme setup, we got a video on that. The PTZ cameras that they're doing, we got a review on that. All of the stuff that we've done, thankfully, is videos that we already have. So I'll try and tag all that stuff in the appropriate places. But I think that's about it. So if you like this type of content, appreciate a like. Consider subscribing. Hit that bell. That way you get notified when we come out with other videos to help modernize your media ministry. Thanks for watching, folks. This is AJ. Catch you on the next video. Later.